Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wolfram Language Design Review. This time, as we do quite often, talking about graphics issues. So where do we start?
Start with the first one.
Hmm,
So this is, continuation of the new colors for um, bar charts, histogram, that sort of thing, with the brighter yellow especially.
okay.
Um,
Do we have Jeremy here?
yes, we have Jeremy and Tim.
Yep,
Okay.
I'm here.
These do seem like more modern colors. I mean, what do I know? I'm not exactly a fashionista, but uh, if
I
we
think the
have,
yellow is pretty nice.
yeah, I do too.
And I like the green. I really like that green.
What was the green we had before? It was a more army green.
It was more of a mossy army green, yeah, sort of thing.
Okay. Are these colors going to work when they're small, or do we have to darken them when they're small?
I mean, they
Uh,
work, I think, pretty well when.
they work at any size, I think.
Right. I mean,
But
it's
this
not
is not.
changing the colors for like plot, where we have curves and points and things.
Those are only region colors.
These are region things.
Let's talk about the borders, which are now black-ish. I mean, they may be gray.
Well, okay, so one thing is that has multiple data sets, so those are partially transparent. So if you compare those yellow bars with like the yellow bar in the bar chart.
Okay, but what I'm asking about is the border, the edge
Yeah.
form.
I know. I'm just saying that those are a little bit, that particular one that you were looking at with the data, the date histogram or whatever that is. You know, the border is going to look a little bit darker because it's next to something that's a little bit lighter.
Fair
But
enough, but what should the borders in general be? What are they? Are they black? Are they gray? Are they transparent? What's the story?
I don't remember if they're straight black, but there is certainly transparency.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
What
black with opacity.
what do we
I,
want them to be? Do we like that?
I like it,
Uh,
and also, like the histogram ones do the fade out thing
What fade
a-
out thing?
as the
Oh, and when you
quantity increases.
okay.
So
Because
um,
sometimes they overlap.
I have a question for bubble chart
mhm.
here. Is there any value, by the way, you know, this dynamic stuff just drives me crazy. But anyway, I mean, it's useful when it is useful, but I hope it switches off properly.
It does.
Okay, next question. Um, any value in having haloing for bubble charts? Or an option to halo when there are lots of bubbles on top of each other?
I mean, so when you have lots of bubbles on top of each other and you halo, it's going to.
You'll see mostly halo.
Yeah, I mean that's the concern
All
is
right, forget
that.
the idea. Okay.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's good with like this case where there's not a lot of overlap. I think this would be improved, but the dense case, I don't think will be good at all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Um, I
Okay.
mean, actually, the dynamic thing is, a sort of halo. It's
It is, I know.
um, that we created, back in V7.
Well, okay, it might be worth doing the experiment of seeing what it looks like at this density with haloing.
Hmm. Right. I mean, the other thing is that, as a reminder, is that the bubbles are sorted big at the back, small at the front. I don't
Boy,
know what effect that would.
we're really cleaning this up. This is really good. This is
Mhm.
really good. These are very muddy compared to these.
Yes.
Good stuff. All right, I got another comment.
Hmm.
I hate these. I hate these shiny, it reminds me of kind of 1990s, we could put a shine on a business graphic.
Meaning
The
you don't want
gradient.
other people to use
You,
them,
you,
or
you you mean the bars, not like.
because they're not default. You have to seek them out, right?
Well, no, I mean those. I mean that gradient on the 3D bars is default.
Except for the
Oh,
background is yellowy,
Yeah.
yellowish.
yeah, okay.
I hate them. I mean, I think they're not for our, if you want to have a snazzy, sparkly business presentation, sure, if you set plot, theme, arrow, business. But for the default, this just doesn't seem right. I mean, I would never use this in anything I do. What can we do about that? I mean, I just don't understand why we want the gradient at all here. Now, I will say that for these spheres, I like having, the highlighting because I think it makes their shape clear.
It is no gradient. It's not fake. It's real 3D. It's
No,
It
Not
has
in bar
gradient.
chart.
I mean,
Well,
the bar
isn't-
chart one is
the bar chart 3D.
it,
It's
it,
really-
it is not straight 3D. It is
No.
vertex colored, I think.
Oh, that's what you mean.
It shouldn't be.
But it's real 3D. It's not 2D.
Yeah, right.
Fake.
Right. I think real 3D without vertex coloring would be the right thing here with these nice new colors. I don't know what the default light sources should be. I mean, this is presumably a neutral light source, right?
I
Otherwise,
think we worked hard to get the depth. Without that background, you can't even see them.
I'm not complaining about the background. I'm going to complain separately about background.
Hmm.
I'm talking about this shininess, right?
Hmm.
I'm talking about the vertex coloring stuff.
Right. And I think we tried doing it with just lighting and didn't get something that we liked.
Why did that? Oh, that's a single data set.
Right. I mean, the one that's in the preview there is
This is totally sucky, if I might say so. The fade out and so on. That's horrible.
But that's stock.
Right. And the issue is that for a flat facet, our current light sources do something kind of, not very exciting because they're light sources from infinity. So the flat facet is uniformly colored, correct?
right. And what and I
And they're
think we
hot from
tried
above
not
too,
doing
right?
that.
So there's a brighter source from above than from the sides. And so you're seeing shadow on that front face.
Which is just wrong. I mean, we could change the light sources for bar chart 3D, but also we could consider having a spotlight.
Right. I mean, the other thing is that it's possible I don't remember.
I don't think that the spotlight would do anything. Because it's just one complete face, so I don't think it breaks it down.
Okay, so for some reason, this bothers me a lot less. This reminds me of the sphere case, where it's kind of like it's just a realistic thing, whereas this is some kind of fake, whatever it is.
That's a NURBS profile down there, so it's very smooth.
Yeah.
Well, I think though we need the scientific bar chart 3D, which needs to be non-shiny, color variation, whatever it is. How do we do that? And with respect to the backing, I would have thought a neutral gray backing was much better. I don't know why this one ended up green.
So the backing is actually a blend of the first few colors.
Oh God.
So, if you choose your colors, it gives you a light complement to that.
And when we switched to discrete colors, that's just what came out there. 'Cause
Yeah,
before it was just in a
and then we,
gradient.
Tim adjusted it.
But
I
what
adjusted
about
it so
just
it
a
uses
light
the first
gray?
color.
What about a light
Yeah.
gray?
Why don't I just come up with some proposals?
Fine.
Right.
Okay.
So one more thing I was going to say is that when we first did the bar chart 3D and did the what we're doing by default right now, I don't know if we could do lighting per object
I see.
or if we had to do whole scene lighting. And one of the things with what we have right now is that the top of the bars all sort of start at the same light level.
Yes. Yeah, that's one thing that's very wrong. That would probably look better if it was kind of lit from above or something where the top bars are in the sunlight.
I'm not so sure about that,
Okay.
but I can put together some experiments and can play with
See,
it.
this I don't have any problem with. This
Yeah, I mean,
has
that's just, pure stock lighting. That's
yeah, but right. But the problem is that pure stock lighting isn't working for these cuboids for some reason that I don't, that is because of the faceting
It's because
somehow.
they're facing differently, right? We're looking at
yes, I mean, where the predominant surface space is, horizontal versus vertical.
the sector chart's kind of laying on the ground, right? And looking, its faces are
Right. But is that
pointing up.
just because the light sources are in the wrong place for the bar chart 3D? That if we just rotated the light sources and switched horizontal and vertical for the light sources, that we would get a perfectly good effect? I speculate that it is.
It's possible. We'll do the experiments, the tests.
Yeah.
Fine.
What happens when you lay bar chart on the ground, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You'd have to-
Try your
can
bar
go-
chart below with bar origin goes to the left.
This one here.
The second one, let's say.
Well, here, the bar origin. Well, maybe we want bar origin both to bottom.
But it has
Well,
this
try
vertex
front.
color, so it won't look much different regardless of orientation.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you try that on the cube
On the
version?
bottom one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one here. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and use back instead of front. Just
Do light sources rotate with the
no.
rotation?
Generally,
I don't think so.
no.
Okay, so it won't really affect. How do you rotate light sources, or can you?
We don't have a way to do that right now, although we probably should have as a piece of UX. Look, some of those colors are not terrible, maybe. I don't know. I think this can be solved. Let's let Tim work on it.
Yep.
Okay, just
Sounds
remove
good.
the shine.
Okay.
I mean, I'd be happy going with that, rounded one. I mean, it's
I don't like it. I don't think we should do that by default. I think the
Okay.
rounded one is a fine idea as some kind of theme or something, but I
Right.
think the default is we're really trying to deal with sort of people mostly making sort of serious technical visualizations. Okay, distribution chart.
So this is a reminder for you and our audience that we wanted to get away from a lot of the things that were buried in the chart element schemes palette.
Yep.
And so we're adding a second argument to distribution chart
Yep.
that allows us to do the traditional violins, binned histograms, densities.
Okay, I want to comment on the density one. Okay.
Mhm.
And by the way, why isn't there a combination of smooth histogram and density? Like you could show in here. Is that crazy? What would it look like if you put that density level? See what I'm
Not
saying?
as compelling as you think. Because where the density gets light is where the violin gets narrow,
Yeah.
and so
fair enough.
it
Fair enough.
hides.
Okay. Okay. Now look in this density thing, the borders don't look right. The borders seem very emphasized because the thing is very light in its density. I think those borders have to come down significantly in gray level or opacity.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But you still want some border. You don't want it completely.
I think. What did Tim and Jeremy think about
Is it
that?
just this case or the others as well? This case, you could argue, shouldn't have any borders.
Let's try it without borders.
And
Okay.
is this
Make a copy of that distribution chart. We'll see if it works on your machine.
what's the difference between these two? What's this first one? It has thicker borders. I'm kind of wondering why it has thicker borders.
Oh, implementation, there is a difference between them, but
Well, it shouldn't have thicker
yeah,
borders.
yeah.
Okay, so that looks pretty nice, I think.
Hmm.
And now, what do you want me to do?
So
Density, and then it
density
can.
and yep, density. Put the whole thing in a list.
What do you mean the whole thing?
The string density in a list
Okay.
because we're going to add an association after it. String boundary style.
None.
Let's start with red just to make sure it's.
Okay.
Okay, now try none.
I think that looks just fine.
Okay.
Looks nice, actually. How do I determine the width of the bars?
The width of the bars are width 1. The spacing between them is bar spacing.
I see. It's kind of interesting and not useless. Probably not the default, but we should certainly have an example that shows that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about this one? That one probably needs borders.
Right. I mean, and that one is a little bit very basic.
What is it? I mean, is it the quantiles? What is it? Is it max,
by
min,
by
max?
default, that's just min to max. That's just
I see.
um
All right, fine. And what about, is there a box whisker type version?
there is, but I don't think it's working in your version. So
Okay, all right. Okay, now this is showing the actual values, right?
yep, those are lines at the actual values. And we have a parameter that is how wide those lines draw, what color they draw at. Now you're getting down into things that are
Okay, so I strongly think these things should just be a one-sided smooth histogram as a string. Well, you're saying we have to know whether it's left and right and all that kind of stuff. I think this is a useful thing on the right doing this.
mm-hmm.
I think this is slightly fake, and I think this is a more useful representation. I'm not even sure what the default should be. And I kind of feel like this is a more honest representation than the doubled one. See what I'm saying?
So okay, so right now, so here's a thought. Right now we have an alias for smooth histogram called violin. Um, we could make them not aliases and have violin be
The violin chart that looks like this.
yes, and have smooth
Uh, um,
histogram be
I think that
the
wouldn't be bad.
one-sided
And
thing by
what about the
default.
histogram? What about histogram? Because I think it should also allow the one-sided version. What's histogram defaulting to right now?
I mean, histogram by default is what you see on screen right now in distribution chart.
Okay, but I'm claiming that both of these should be one-sided, probably by default.
Okay.
I mean, do other people have an opinion about that? I just feel like this is an honest piece of
I
scientific
mean, it's easier
graphics.
to understand for sure.
Right. This looks cool, but it's kind of like, what the hell is it? And it could be, should it be smooth histogram and two-sided smooth histogram or symmetric smooth histogram? That would be, I mean, we could call
I mean,
it.
so I am fine with, us making the default whatever the default is, one-sided. That's fine. I think we're still going to want the alignment parameter.
Sure, that's fine.
Um,
And then that would be one-sided, and then this would be, and then we would have symmetric smooth histogram, otherwise known as a violin. And this would be a change that histogram would now be one-sided by default.
Yes. Well, I
This
mean,
option was so obscure
it's a new
before.
bit of syntax, so it's not actually a change. It's
Fine. Okay, I'm liking that.
I mean, the other thing that we have, which we're not really pushing to completion this version, is that you have alignment positions that are before and after, where it's the one-sided, but it's not, it's off of the center line of,
I get it.
which then allows you to say, do a one-sided smooth histogram and a box whisker sort of for the same data set right next to each other.
I see. That's nice. Okay, what are we doing with these things here? Is it really line? I don't think we should call it line width. I mean, we should call it something like data line or something. I profoundly hate this. Okay, this is variegating them by quantile, which I think is useful.
Right. So going back to your naming thing with regard to the lines.
Mhm.
So there is, so you said data line.
I'm not keen on it.
Okay.
What is it? It's like what we have in mesh goes to true or something for list.
Yeah, kind of like that, yes.
Sometimes they're called data rugs.
Yeah.
But in other places like list line plot, it's mesh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an obviously terrible name here?
I mean, but we're not displaying points, right? Because the points are usually not going to show very well if you just line them up.
What are
Well, I
those
mean, we have
lines
the
then?
points right below that, which is
Right,
what
but
Stephen was saying.
you can even see them, right? They see it.
Yeah.
They don't show up very well. You know,
Well,
when
but these are all the points. These are all the points.
Right,
but
those are all the locations.
But we
Yes.
make them lines, and now you can pretty well with an eye
Yes.
estimate density.
Right. It's kind of data lines, really, because it is the data.
Having data lines is not a bad word. It's
Fine.
kind of functional.
Well, so but then what it would be, it's kind of like almost a top level option, data lines, arrow. It's like data range. We've got a variety of these things. Data lines, arrow, automatic, true, false. Then we could go to an association or something. We could just say data lines red. If you wanted to do that, we could use that as an elision. And then data lines goes to whatever. And that way it's like a decision. And then there's also the width of the data line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which can be perfectly well in this association, but we could have a data lines, you're basically switching them on and off. What happens in data lines with a histogram?
It looks really weird.
Okay.
I mean, because you have the lines and
I know.
yeah. It's
all right. So, do you guys agree? Data lines. I kind of wonder whether data lines is an interesting option for a filled. We don't have that in
like a list plot sort of thing.
A list plot, yes.
Well, I mean, right. It would be list line plot that we don't have the thing, right? I mean, list plot with filling is basically, one of those data lines
Yeah.
because it just draws the stems straight down to the axis.
Yes.
Um,
But I think data lines would be a nice thing to have in uh a date list plot.
I mean, so we had filling goes to bottom or filling goes to axis, right?
Yeah,
And
but that just fills with a whole wash of color. Right? If I say list line plot,
well, that doesn't have it. Yeah, that doesn't have it, but list plot does.
well, I mean, this
what are
line
you
plot is
talking
a
about?
different filling, but yes.
This, I mean, this has, you know, it's fine. It does that. And if it's list plot, it does that.
And if you show the two of them together, then
Well, what happens if I do that? I don't even know.
percent, and then percent, yeah.
Until error and undo error. Yeah, well, it's not great.
But I think that is
That's
maybe
the
what you were
effect.
sort of.
Yeah, that's the effect. And it's a nice
Yeah.
effect. And I think we should support it. I think we should just have a data lines thing that works for, whether it's filled or not. It's the same basic thing that we got up here.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's my suggestion for that. Okay, so is there anything more to figure out with these?
So what's the? I just want to recap. So you were proposing data lines is
True, false, automatic. I don't know what settings you want there.
and then an association thing that lets us get the width and whatever.
Yeah, and maybe the style is something you can
Shortcut.
elide in.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether there's a setting like automatic for data lines that should be a certain density of data lines, so it isn't just crazy.
Right.
And
I mean,
presumably these
if
data
you have
lines
like
have an
100 or
opacity.
more of them, it's just a gray mass. It's um
Right, in which case you might want to downsample. See what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know what happens if those things have opacity. Do you get essentially a density effect or do you get
yeah.
just a mush?
I think you get a little bit of a density effect with opacity.
But the possibility will be data lines are automatic downsample so you can actually see something.
It would be an interesting downsample.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it would be
You got to uniformly,
no,
you've
not
got to.
uniformly. Right. Yeah, because to avoid the mush, you want to downsample based on the density.
No, I don't think so. I think you want to show you just want to downsample so that some things are really sparse and the mush is just a bunch of close lines. I'm not sure. I would leave that as a possibility that data lines are automatic does something different. Make sense?
Duh, 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 duh.
Look, true and false, we know what do they do. So automatic and none for now could do the same, but I think there's a possibility they might want to do something different.
So which does true do? True does the
Puts in data lines everywhere. Every data line, it's in there
right.
with
Yeah,
true.
but like in that first one where it matches the width of the thing.
It does whatever you do based on the second argument of distribution chart. But if you want to do something different, then make an association and do line width arrow, whatever it is, and change, give constant line widths. Otherwise, that's a line width arrow automatic, which means fit within the box.
Right. Okay.
These are nice. Just one question here.
Mhm.
The outer border is black. I assume that we want that the fact that the outer border and the data lines are the same color is okay.
I think so.
Fine. I think we need the contrast for the data lines.
Hmm.
Okay. Categorical histogram. What are the little squigglies underneath?
I think that's what we were talking about. I forget how long ago, where we were distinguishing between the nominal and ordinal by,
Whether there's a dot there or not.
yes.
And I don't see any dots.
This is nominal, so
Oh, it's nominal. It's not ordered.
right.
Well, but I could say, if I wanted to, ordinal.
Yep.
Oh, lovely.
I was gonna say I saw these, the first time today when I was reevaluating this. I was like, what is that? Oh wait, I do remember that discussion.
I think they're not bad. It makes it clear roughly what it is. Other people's comments. I think that's not bad.
I kind of
First,
dislike how tall it makes it.
I agree.
Um,
Should it go underneath or above?
I think under's better. You want to read the content first.
Okay.
I almost wondered like to the left.
I was wondering that too, but I don't think that
Mm.
works. We got lists which go, left, right, not up, down.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Can we make it less tall? Can we lose the space around the slider thingy?
maybe, or at least maybe along the lose the bottom space, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that have that thing almost hug the lower boundary.
Hmm.
Can we try it? Is this a
We,
10
we
production?
we can try it. I'll bring it up with Nick and Jose.
Okay. Okay, well, so there's some weirdness here. The center of the Q is making that lower, you see?
Huh. Interesting.
And quite what the wider W is doing is a little bit questionable.
Well, I mean, it's the W might be getting overwritten. I mean,
Well, it
like,
is by the
yeah,
X.
this is this plot happened to come out like at the limit of.
Yeah, I understand. What happened there?
It's overriding.
I
The
think they're all
padding
overwriting each
is
other.
covering. Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's not a lot you could do in that case.
yeah.
The
Well, I
fact that
mean,
those are so gray. I mean, in a situation like this, I might like black for the names of the labels.
mhm. In the plot or like generally, like where we just have the list of them above. Is it okay if those are black or?
I don't know. These look quite good, yeah. But maybe it's just when they get small. See, because that looks much darker than this one here.
Oh, I wonder if the font size changed from something.
Maybe the font size changed. Maybe I mean, I assume there's no opacity mix in there.
I don't think. I mean, not coming from us, I don't think. Um,
Okay.
but it could be coming from. I mean, graphics has ideas about fonts,
Yeah.
just
Well, that's my
generally.
point.
Yeah,
Right.
and so it might be
Needs to be looked
interacting
at.
with that.
Oh boy. There's a lot of stuff with categorical histogram. Okay.
I
I
mean,
see.
there's basically, the second, right? I mean, so the second argument in histogram is how do I construct bins?
Yeah, I understand.
And for categorical, it's a different sort of thing, um, which is why we don't just do histogram with scaling function goes to a categorical thing.
So ordinals get ordered as by their ordinality, so to speak, usually.
I'm not positive that they are yet, but they will be. I mean,
Okay,
that's
fine. But nominals get ordered by what? By default.
by default, they're ordering by most largest to smallest counts.
I see. Wouldn't it make more sense increasing count or something like this? Because I worry that increasing might be the increasing in the ordinal, in the descriptor.
Increasing count is fine. Yep.
Fine.
And
And I assume we have increasing probability in things as well.
they'd be the same, I think.
No, they won't.
But
No, they won't because they're normalized. Probability is normalized.
well, but if one is increasing, I think the other would be increasing as well.
Well, sure, but I understand. But is increasing something that goes along with probability versus count? See what I'm saying? In which case, it should be increasing value. See what I'm saying? It will be increasing value, list increasing value, comma, probability. Make sense?
I think increasing value is the better name
Fine.
because it will fit with everything.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, but then it's increasing value. And a typical thing would be, increasing value, comma, probability, like this. Right?
If we're going to do that, I'm just going to do increasing probability and increasing count.
Okay. Fine. But you agree we need count and probability, right? Obviously, because that determines the scale here. Right? Do you understand?
I mean, I still don't see how you could have count and probability that have different orderings when you sort them in an increasing way.
No, they can't. No, they
No.
will have the same. Dude, you just the probability. The only difference with probability is you divide by constant, so cannot change the ordering.
Yeah. So I don't disagree with having increasing probability and increasing count. So it's count, probability, which order them however they choose to order them, and then increasing count, increasing probability.
But also interestingly, and we didn't talk about this, Brett, but for ordinals, we can have a CDF. That's not defined for nominals.
Right.
But I still want to know what the default ordering is. For ordinals, I understand the default ordering.
Default ordering for ordinals is the order.
Let me just make a point about that. There's a case where you might want to show the fact that there's nothing, and the ordinal values. I think there needs to be an option that says whether to include the zeros or not. So I'm saying you've got ordinals A, B, C, D.
Mm-hmm.
You've got data points only in A and C. Do you show B as 0, or do you not, or do you elide it and not show it at all? I think you should show in a categorical histogram. I think you should have an option at least to show B as 0. Possibly that it should even be the default.
I for ordinal, I think it should be the default.
Okay. Okay. So if we agree about that, do you want a thing where it removes the zeros? Maybe not. Maybe let's ignore that.
We actually wanted to design something that has
Right,
a cut off.
Open the docs source page for categorical histogram. Okay, if we scroll down a little bit, Another table or two. Right. So that table of strings at the bottom
Yeah.
are just sort of the current things that go into controlling the bins, so to speak.
Yes.
And so one of the ones that we have is categories, which
I see.
is related to this, where you can say,
I get it.
I'm
I
interested
understand.
in cats, dogs, and fish,
Right. You can
and
say categories, all categories are automatic. Categories all
yes.
would have all the categories automatic.
Hmm.
But that's a pretty obscure subcase here.
I think it's actually surprisingly common. I want to figure out some way that we can do that for our charting functions too. Like sometimes you do a pie chart and there are these like gazillion super tiny pie slices that you can't even see.
Yeah, that you prefer to aggregate
You
or
prefer to
omit.
aggregate in sort of in the other.
Right. And so that is what remainder category is you give a name there and anything that got omitted, you know,
I
because,
understand. I think
you know,
this needs more design.
okay.
I think this whole question about what to do with zero. Look, by default, right now for this version, if it's zero, you leave a place for it.
Hmm.
Okay, in the nominal case, other than a delete duplicates type approach to the ordering, I don't know how you do the ordering. There are two ways I can imagine. One is sort canonical ordering, which I don't think is totally stupid, and the other would be delete duplicates ordering. I actually think sort canonical ordering is better.
For the categories?
Yes, in a nominal categorical histogram. Otherwise, how
So
are you going to order them?
by frequency,
I don't think that should be the default.
I think that generally gives more readable. Um,
So you're proposing that increasing count is the default.
yeah,
Decrease in count, but
decreasing. Yeah.
yes.
So most
Fair enough.
important first.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. That's not silly.
Because there's a good chance other things, particularly with many categories, looks like noise. It's very
No,
we're
no,
gonna
I agree. Okay,
gonna
you're
take
right. You're right. I
Right. I
agree.
mean, and we're probably also going to, put a limit on how many categories by default. If you've got, 500 categories, maybe we only show, the top 10.
For which? I mean, but why not say that for any histogram? Oh, I see categories. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of detailed tweaking, which you can try and
Hmm.
put in an association for now. I don't think we're ready with all that stuff. That is my opinion. This stuff isn't really ready. I mean, if we want to push it, I think we need a separate design discussion for that.
Sure.
Let's have a quick look at plot grid spacings.
Right.
Of what? What am I looking at? For plot grid?
Yeah, plot grid sources. Yep.
Okay, what am I looking at here?
Scroll down a little bit. Um, so the spacings option for plot grid at the moment we have set up to take an association, so that we can control spacing around different types of elements.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing to have for other gritty things.
Right. And so now if you go down to the options examples,
Um, uh, um, Sorry, where? Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff here. Doesn't this need a more serious design review?
Oh,
I mean, that,
probably we'll get one. So,
right, what do you want me to look at right now?
okay,
I
so
think
so
I'm late
here
for
is
something
spacing.
else.
So default is a little bit. When in those cases where we have those frames panels up close to each other. None turns it off entirely. Stuff is right up against each other. Scroll down a little bit more.
I'm looking at what happens over here. If that's
Um,
okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, go on. Now what?
all right, so now we have spacings goes to a number, which is a distance in points,
Yes.
affecting the gutters, the spaces between the rows and the columns.
What's the default?
It's like 2 or something.
Okay, fine. Non-zero.
Yeah, small number. And so this is, crazy amount of spacing for illustration purposes, where we are putting space. Scroll down one more, I think. Okay, easier to see here. So what this is saying is that we have 5 points between the tick labels and the frame labels, and 10 points between the frame labels and whatever the next thing out is, which in this case happens to be those 2-point gutters.
I'm sorry, how do we know it's because it's a default 2-point gutter.
Right.
Okay, but here, if I said spacing 0, what's the gutter size? What do we say it here?
It's string gutters at the moment. That
I'm fairly
is,
confused by this. That doesn't look right.
just a second.
You're basically saying that things go gutter, frame label, tick label.
Right. And there will be, there's other things that have the potential to be there, like labeled wrappers or,
Yes, but I don't know how you
legends.
specify those.
Hmm?
I don't know how you specify those.
You would put a labeled wrapper around your plot.
No, I
Um,
understand that, but I mean, I'm saying in terms of the spacing specification, it seems like it gets very messy when you're dealing with things like that. When you're dealing with these outer things like labeled wrappers.
right. I mean, so the thing with plot grid is that similar to other viz functions, it takes over labeled. Right. If you do a bar chart and you say labeled or list plot with labeled,
Yeah.
it controls where that label goes, rather than having like an actual labeled wrapper, like you might have on your, outside of the graphic.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it extracts the labels and then positions them in spaces that it leaves for them. And so
I'm
there
spacing
are.
out, talking spacing. I'm sorry. I'm distracted because I have another thing coming up. And do you need more decisions made right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
So
This looks like it's coming together fairly well, but more work to be done.
Yep.
Roger, any last things to say?
On plot grid?
No,
Yeah,
another thing
or
for
general.
this meeting.
No, I think that's good. Steady progress.
Okay. All right. Talk to you all soon then.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.